Oh my god, I can't wait to see this. Holy shit, 258. Also 258. And 171. All that was arena grinding. Marcus, Knight of Faerie. Marcus returned with Elwood and, as the head of the Knights of Faerie, dedicated his life to training young squires. Lowen Swift Knight, Rebecca Wildflower. Rebecca and Lowen were wed, and they became two of Elwood's most trusted retainers. Their green-haired son inherited his father's chivalrous spirit, as well as his mother's smile and skill with a bow. Their son is Wolt, in Binding Blade. Dorcas, Serene Warrior. Dorcas returned to Faerie and used the money he earned to buy medicine for Natalie, his wife. She recovers rapidly. Bartrey, a wildfire. Bartrey continued his quest from country to country. Rumors say that he fell in love with his own mortal enemy. Oswin, Impregnable Knight. Oswin served as a vassal to Marquis Ostia. His was a calm, reasonable voice in Lycia's ruling government. Matthew, Thief and Spy. Matthew continued his service as a spy for House Ostia. The memory of his beloved Leela lingers on in his heart. Sarah, Outspoken Cleric. Sarah returned to Ostia. She spent much time tending to her own affairs, but lately, she has begun to enjoy her free time. Guy, Mounted Swordsman. Guy continued his quest to be the finest swordsman in all Sake. His form was so perfected that all called him the Saint of Swords. Urk, Studious Mage. Urk returned to Etruria and was asked to succeed the retiring Lord Pent. He refused and devoted his life to the study of magic. Priscilla, Secluded Princess. Priscilla returned to Etruria's Count Caileron, and her adopted parents met her with not harsh rebukes, but with tears of joy. Florina, Pegasus Knight. After Lyn abdicated rule of Caelin, Florina returned to Ilia. She remained shy, but this shyness has made her strong with him. Kent, the Crimson Shield. After Caelin was placed under Ostian rule, Kent became its steward. His dedication earned him the love of his people. Sain, the Green Lance. When Ostia took over the rule of Caelin, Sain resigned and became an independent knight. His love of women is unchanged. Will, Archer without equal. Will remained a knight of Caelin even after Ostia took over. He became the commander of Ostia's Caelin Archer Division. Raven, Sublime Mercenary. Raven vanished without a word. Many reports placed him in Arafin, but none could be confirmed. Lucius, the Light. Lucius lived a modest life in a remote corner of Arafin. He built a small orphanage, where he now cares for his helpless children. Canis, Seeker of Wisdom. Canis returned to his family in Ilia. Some years later, he and his wife died trying to stop a snowstorm. His child was raised by his old mother. What? Canis dies? Dart, Badon's Commando. Dart took a grave wound protecting Vargas in a skirmish. He vanished at sea, but rumors claim he might be in Faerie. Fiora, Wingborn Warrior. Fiora flew many missions as head mercenary company. Her donations saved many poor families in Ilia from destruction. I forgot that Canis dies, holy shit. Legault, the Hurricane. After the battle, Legault traveled the lands looking for Black Fang refugees. He helped them to ease the pain of his own loss. Nils, Child of Destiny. Nils vanished through the gate in order to seal it from the other side. Those who saw him go will never forget his look of sorrow. Isadora, Escort of Fere. As a knight of the Imperial Guard, Isadora served to guard Lady Eleonora. She continued to study and be a lady up until she wed. Heath, Wandering Knight. Heath moved to Ilia and became a mercenary knight of some fame. He fought not for country, but for people in need. Wrath, Wolf of Sake. Wrath returned to his tribe in Sake. His deeds earned him a warm greetings from his father, the famed Silver Wolf. Hawkeye, Desert Guardian. Hawkeye returned to Nabata and lived peacefully in Arcadia with his daughter, whom he trains to be a guardian of the desert. Wallace, Crag of Caelin. Wallace intended to return to Caelin, but he got lost and ended up in Ilia. He now spends his days tilling the frozen soil. Pent, Mage General Louise, Lady of Violets. When Athos died, Pent took over his research. To focus his studies, Pent resigned as Mage General of Etruria. This action set the palace in an uproar, but Pent and Louise endured. Harkin, Troubled Warrior. Harkin worked closely with Marcus to rebuild the Knights of Fere. They are slowly rebuilding their strength and prestige. Nino, Pious Mage. At Ellawood's invitation, she started a quiet life in a small village in Fere. She plans to return to Biran to visit a certain cemetery. Burn. Jafar, Angel of Death. Jafar vanished in the final moments of the last battle. He still avoids the bounty hunters who seek out the famed Angel of Death. Vida, Flying Fang. Some rumors say Vida died at the hands of Byrne forces. Others say she now serves Byrne's Prince Zephiel. Renaud, Burden Bishop. No one knew the old him. No one knows what became of him. He vanished as though he never existed. Archsage Athos. Athos died in a foreign land. Those who saw his face said that he seemed as though he had at last found true peace. Merlinus, Cheery Merchant. Merlinus opened a shop in Ostia, but was forced to close. He plans on reopening with some aid from Lord Ellawood himself. Lynn, Noblewoman of Sake. Lynn entrusted Caelin's rule to Ostia and returned to the plains of her birth. She often thinks fondly on the people of Caelin. Hector, General of Ostia. Hector returned to Ostia and became her Marquis. His bond of friendship with Ellawood remained eternally strong. Ellawood, Knight of Lycia. Ninian, Child of Destiny. Ellawood and Ninian were wed after the conflict. Ninian gave up her old life and her people to enjoy a brief life with Ellawood. They have a son named Roy, who will one day take up arms to defend his nation. Lucid, famed genius. The tactician vanished after the final battle. Byrne, Lycia, and Etruria all sought those famed skills, but none ever found the tactician. Finn.